also have a live Pinpoint Doppler 12 weather alert because right now parts of Rhode Island are under a flood warning after heavy rain pounded the area.
Here's a live look outside. You can see that the rain has stopped, but the threat for the Patuxent River remains. We have Pinpoint Weather team coverage. Sean Daly is live in one neighborhood dealing with flooding. But let's start with meteorologist Pete Mangione, live in the Pinpoint Doppler 12 Forecast Center. Pete, yesterday you were right on track on this storm.
Yeah,
Tell us what the latest is now.
Yeah, hi, Vince. Well, the rain was really coming down overnight. The good news is most of that is now pushed out, but the river, the Patuxent River to be exact, continues to rise. That will probably crest in the next few hours and then recede as we get into the evening hours. Right now on live Pinpoint Doppler 12, you could see the heavier stuff has pushed on out, but as we take you in a little bit closer to Cranston, the Patuxent River is what we're going to be watching here over the next several hours. But the good news is heavy rain is done. A few lingering showers could pop up throughout the early afternoon, and then maybe a quick front will give us a shower or two this evening, but that'll be about it. So a flood warning continues for the Patuxent River at Cranston, and those rain totals are very impressive. Most spots in Rhode Island getting between 2 and about 3.5 inches. Over 3 in westerly Newport over 2. That's Smithfield reading. That's been kind of all over the place this morning, so we're not quite sure about that one. But I will tell you there are reports coming in from Kingston of a rainfall total of over 4.5 inches, actually 4.8 inches to be exact. So just a bunch of moisture falling overnight. In addition to the rain, we also have a heavy surf advisory through this evening. Even though the winds will die down this afternoon, the seas are rough and they will stay that way for a while. More details on what looks like an improving weekend futurecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Pete, thanks. Well, as we all know, when we get hit with these heavy rains, there are certain areas, one place in particular, that we always have to watch out for.
Now with more Pinpoint Weather team cover, let's go live to Eyewitness News reporter Sean Daly, who is in the northern edge of Cranston near the Johnston line. Sean?
Yes, Vincent, Elizabeth, when it rains, it pours, they say, but here on Fletcher Avenue in Cranston, it floods. Just as night follows day, flooding follows heavy rains here on Fletcher Avenue. I'm 6'1", and the water is almost up to my knees here. I've got some fairly serious boots on, but as it turns out, not serious enough. This is the land for waders. Would be much better to maneuver all around this area here. We talked to some people to get their take on life on Fletcher Avenue after the rains.
Well, I was born and raised there. My father and my uncle owned a lumber company across the street there, and I used to ride the logs in this water when I was a kid. You know, they used to get logs and stuff, and when the water got deep, the logs used to float in the street, and I used to get on it, me and my brother, and we used to paddle up and down Fletcher Avenue.
What do you think of all this water?
Well, it's like this. It seems like this after every rain.
From your vantage point up here, it looks like a boat.
I know it. You never know how really deep it is unless you're familiar with the area. But I come down and deliver quite often. And this is probably the 8th or 9th time that I've come down and ran into things like this with the water. But this is the deepest I've seen it.
How does this compare, say, to driving in the snow?
Well, this stays for a while, and repercussions hang around a little bit longer. And, you know, you have to go slower in the snow, but at least it goes away a little bit quicker.
Which would you prefer? Let's put it that way.
Oh, I'd take the snow anytime.
They keep saying they're going to fix that, but it don't seem to ever get done.
Does this seem crazy to you?
Yeah, I'd come up from North Carolina last night, and, you know, I'd been here earlier in the week, and it'd been raining off and on, but I never thought it'd get out like this.
And now comes the sunshine. Go figure. But, you know, I'm with that trucker. I'd prefer the snow. Live here on Fletcher Avenue, or should we call this Fletcher Lake, in Cranston, just near the Johnston line. Sean Daly, Eyewitness News.
All right, Sean Daly. Stay with Eyewitness News for Pinpoint Weather team coverage of the storm. As you can see, we'll go anywhere following this story. Pete will be back in a bit with his full futurecast, and we'll have latest on the flooding and beach concerns starting at 5. And for up-to-the-minute weather information 24 hours a day, just log on to our website at WPRI.com.